తెలుగు ప్రజల మనస్సాక్షి మీ సాక్షి టీవీకి స్వాగతం సుస్వాగతం. Welcome to yet another episode of our popular Vastu and Grahashastra show with the prominent leader in astrology and Vastu specialist, a doctorate in Vedic sciences, Dr. Deepika Sanghi Gupta. She's here with us. And by the way, I am Bhargavi, glad to be talking to ma'am today. So, Deepika ji, namaste. How are you?
Namaste, Bhargavi ji. I'm doing good. Thank you. How have you been?
Been okay. Life has its own challenges, but no bigger complaints. I mean, I'm good. Thank you for asking. And it's my pleasure always, to talk to you and ask you some questions. So I get some knowledge, and also the audience who are watching this can probably, benefit from the questions and answers session that we have.
Thank you, Bhargavi ji, for your kind words. And we are also very thankful to you that though whatever circumstances you are having right now, and you have to look after a small baby, and still you are doing the show, still you have, agreed to be the host of the show. So thankful to you.
Oh, pleasure is mine, ma'am, because you are the one who inspired me, and also you are the one who made so many changes in our lives. And I publicly announced that, our family is doing much better in many ways because of the energy vastu healings you have done and the rituals you asked us to do to correct the defects in our, horoscope. So pleasure is mine. But
Thank you.
anyway, so let's start spreading the, knowledge and abundance of health and wealth to our audiences as well. So today, dear Sakshi TV viewers, the topic for our discussion is placement of prayer room, or home mandir. So generally, we have the habit of constructing a small puja mandir or a home temple for worshipping or praying in our homes. So many people have been asking us, emailing Sakshi channel to Deepika ji, asking questions about the placement of the room. So Deepika ji, are there any specifics, like are there any rules to construct the puja room in a bigger home? Like if the home is big, probably you can do many things. But first, let's talk about the basic rules to construct a home prayer room or puja mandir at home.
See, the basic rule is the simplicity. It has to be simple because like though you can invest 100,000 in a temple, but God always look at your sincere prayers. The God does not get attracted towards, like, if you have decorated too much of your mandir, or if you are putting the bhog in the silver or the gold utensils, or if you are daily offering a lot of money to the God listens to the sincere hearts. The God listens to your sincere prayers, right? So the mandir is one thing. See, we all have that God inside, right? Sometimes we think that if we are praying into the mandir or a temple, then only the prayers will be listened. No, sometimes while you are traveling, sometimes when you are in a problem, you are in your office, in your business, or some meeting, you close your eyes and you say, oh God, I'm stuck, please help me, right? Whatever religion you have, but you just pray to your, as per your religion, as per your religious beliefs. So when you pray, the God comes and help you, and then you share those stories with friends and family. I was stuck over there, and suddenly I prayed, I closed my eyes, and I said, oh Bhagwan, mujhe bacha lo, ya oh Allah, like whatever. Then and the God came, and the table turned, and the things worked as per my will, or as per my thing. So the God is inside, so God listened to the prayer. So first of all, ask yourself why you want to make a mandir at your home, why you want that puja place, a worship place at your home. You want to do something spiritually, you want to do religiously, you want to follow something, you want to do some some kind of religious or custom beliefs. Like what is the purpose of making that puja room? Or you want the divine blessing in your home. So, before anything, just think that God will not look that, whatever you have put in the mandir. Maybe you have, sometimes when I go for the Vastu visit, people tell me, oh, we have spent thousands of dollars just to get this mandir from India over here. And, we have constructed it this is something custom, this is something special. I got it from Rajasthan, I got it from there and there. This is the pure marble. It is very, very expensive. Hardly matters. The God is going to listen only and only to the sincere hearts, to the soft hearts, sincere hearts. If you are putting a lot of money in it, let's say in your puja ghar, if you are putting good, if you can decorate, why not? But that doesn't mean that God is going to listen because of that. No. It means that God will not listen to someone who is poor, who is just living in maybe somebody living in some slum area. If they are going to pray in their house, God will not listen to them. No. If somebody have a big house, somebody having, a big mandir in that, and too pretty, has, even invited some of the renowned names into the interior designing, and that person has designed their mandir. I'm just putting in examples.
Yeah.
That will not make God listen to your prayers, right? The God will listen to sincere hearts only.
Couldn't agree more. But the reason why I picked up this question, firstly, is because of the communications that we've been receiving from the audience of this show. And the second thing is, though we all are aware of the fact that God Himself, right? I mean, I belong to Hinduism, I follow the Hindu belief system. So, in this belief system, we believe that God Himself is the universe, and it's
Yes.
such a big, cosmos. It's so huge. And recently, we have seen in news that NASA's telescopes have found that there are some planets or galaxies, in fact, trillions of light years away. So, which is
Yeah.
like, what's the magnitude? It's so ginormous and humongous. Even
Yes.
then, for our sanity, right? Humanity, for times immemorial, since times immemorial, have been building temples like Sanctum Sanctorum, and because you can have murtis that are consecrated and built upon certain images, or the chakras, or I don't know what you call them, those yantras. Yeah,
Yeah.
yantras. So they are like places of worship, emanating positive energy because of the continuous chanting of mantras and the rituals and homams being done.
Yeah.
Because we have smaller places where we dwell at our homes, we do tend to, believe that having a separate place to, have few idols and worship might make it more easier. Or also, you can probably try to accumulate all the positive energy in one place. So do you think the home mandir can be placed in any corner or direction of the home, or should that be in a particular direction, like east, west, something like that, ma'am?
Yes, definitely. See, first of all, the best place to make the mandir is northeast. A mandir in the northeast, or any, I would say not mandir, I would say yes, puja place or your worship place in the northeast gives the best results. But again, depending on, like, if you are a guru follower, let's say if somebody follow guru, like Sai Baba was a guru, right? Then I follow a guru. So if you are following a guru, then the west will be the best for making your worship place. If you are a politician, if you are into something big government organization, or if you are into something like, I would say, some big government official or a politician, then east is the best to make the mandir.
Mm.
So, again, northeast, east, and west are the best places to make the mandir. The south and the other directions like southeast, northwest, they all should be definitely avoided to make the worship place. Because, see, in the mandir, we do the rituals. we do the prayers also. And sometimes, like prayer, I mean to say, we pray for something, right?
Yeah.
Let's say somebody is ill, somebody is sick, so the family can pray for them. Or if you have some desires, you might be praying for that. So, and then you follow some rituals also as per your belief system, right?
Yeah.
So, for those things, Northeast, East, and West are the best. So, Northeast is good for everyone.
Mm.
East, if you are a politician or if you are into something like, government official, then East is also good. And West is again good if you follow some kind of guru legacy. Like, there are a lot of spiritual teachers in India. Sometimes people follow them. So if you are following them, if you are following their customs, religious values, everything, then sit in the West corner. The West will be the best.
Let me ask the follow-up question as an addition to the original one. So let's say there is a multi-storied building, like probably people are rich and they afford to have multi-storied buildings. So let's say that we have the mandir in the ground floor, and also we would like to have, I mean, at least they, right? I'm sorry. So like multiple families living together, like mother, daughter, mother-in-law, something like that. So
Yeah.
how should these mandirs be placed? Can they be on top of one another, like on ground floor and first floor or second floor? Will there be any energy clash? Because we consider these mandirs to be really, places that have a lot of positive energy.
See, very nice question. First of all, if one family, I would highly recommend to have one mandir. See, when Vastu was written, there used to be the community temples. Like people used to go there and worship and come back to their home. Then we became little modern and we want in our own homes. So, we started making one temple in the home, and India has joint family system. Then we became more modern. Now every brother wants to have their own floors, right? And the mother-in-law living on the ground floor, and then the each son has his own floor. We
Yeah.
became more modern, and then everybody wants to have their own temple. That's fine, you can make. But again, all the temples should be in one direction only. It should not be that, one brother is making in northeast, other making in the east, then, on one floor it's on the western side. Avoid doing that. If you are doing, I would not say it's going to create a lot of harm, but still, if it is avoidable, please avoid. Then, see, if everybody is making in the east, then the energy is flowing in that way in the whole building, right?
Oh.
So I would highly suggest that if you are of the same family,
Hmm.
then just try to get the mandir at one place only on
Yes.
all the floors. And sometimes, in India, we also have the floor system. Like people are selling their, single family home. So the builder keeps one floor. So one floor is with someone else, and then two or three floors belong to the same family. So
True.
in that case, also, I would highly suggest that if everybody agrees to make the puja or a temple place at one direction, that would give them better energy flow in the house.
Whatever you just said, ma'am, about the placing of the mandir and also about the negative energy for the toilets, that's really very informative. So I was trying to ask you, and I think there was some technical challenges, so that question got passed. But let me repeat the question. So we do worship a lot of images and idols in Hindu belief system. Because I come from the belief system, I would like to ask you this question specifically for our viewers as well, who all do idol worship. So let's say that we have this puja mandir, the prayer room. This topic, I mean, this episode is all about. So in the prayer room or the puja mandir, let's say you have lot of images all over the place. You have Ganesh ji somewhere, and you have Vishnu somewhere, Shiva and Brahma on top of each of them, I mean, on top of each other. So, does it make any difference? Because we all believe strongly that each image or idol or form of a god or deity has its own significance and importance, and it serves some purpose. These are all like, symbols, right? So, is there any impact at all?
First of all, I would not say that keeping lot of idols help. In fact, it, disbalance the energies. See, in mandirs, we see the idols because there they get the dhyan, snan, everything done. All the rituals are followed. Idols need lot of rituals to be followed. And the if you keep the pictures of the gods, then that is better at the home. Don't keep any idols in your home and business place or in your office because idols need lot of rituals. So keeping the simple pictures is the best thing. Don't use those 3D pictures also.
Oh,
Totally simple pictures with the golden frame are best to keep at home or in your office. The second thing is that, every deity, as you said, this is so true. Every deity has their own direction. Like the Shiv Parivar is best in the northeast, the Ram Darbar, because he was Suryavanshi, so that is best in the east. But we are not going to make different mandirs for each of the deities, right? We
hmm,
need just one mandir in the home. So northeast or the west is the best direction to make the mandir. If it's in northeast, you can place all the idols there. So
hmm,
now the third thing is sometimes we keep the pictures facing each other. No,
yeah.
that is also a big no. Whenever the pictures face each other, then it creates a lot of disbalance in the home.
Oh,
Especially what I have seen from my experiences that people disagree a lot. So
oh,
there is a lot of difference of opinion in the family. So never keep the pictures facing each other. The
okay.
third thing is never repeat the pictures. Like one
Oh,
Vishnu Lakshmi, enough. Don't keep two, two, three, three. Sometimes I even see a lot of Laddu Gopals in the mandir. Sometimes I see a lot of Radha Krishna, and people
hmm,
even keep in their bedrooms also. No,
yeah.
this is totally disrespect of the deity. See, again, everything has a place in Vastu, and you cannot keep each and everything. Will you keep a pressure cooker in your bedroom? No.
Not
Will you
really.
keep a pillow in the living room? No. So,
Yeah.
similarly, the God has its own place. Keep them in the home temple, that's it. And then people decorate their homes with the God. God is nothing to decorate. God has created this universe. How you can use them to decorate, right?
Exactly.
So, when you decorate here and there, you create some energy, right?
Hmm,
And
hmm,
if it is the negative zone of the house, then that energy will get disbalanced. Like you might have heard that, in the Ramayana or in the Mahabharata, the queen went into the Kop Bhavan. So there
yeah.
was some room as per the Vastu Shastra where you let go of the negativity. Now the bedrooms of the couples have become the Kop Bhavan. But earlier there used to be a different room where the queen used to show that today I'm not in a good mood. I have some resentments with you. I have some disagreements with you. And then the king used to get worried. Oh, why she has gone over there? Let me check what's the problem, right? So,
Yeah.
the if so today also in today's modern science also there is some energy which is created to make the Kop Bhavan, right? There are some energies. So if you have placed the god idols there, then will it be okay? No, it will not.
Yeah.
Suddenly
Yeah.
you will start complaining from the God. Oh, I do so much of charity, I pray, still the God never listens to me. So
Yeah.
don't place gods here and there,
Sure.
right? And
Yeah.
then see some of the then we in our houses we have two energies, northwest and southwest, where we can only worship Pitra Devta. So if you have placed the temples in the northwest or in the southwest, then I have seen that the children of that house get disbalanced. There is some or the other problems in the children that appears. Like I have seen usually the children go into the depression or they are not working as per their age. Like they are lacking in some or the other thing, whether it's work or the studies. So
Okay.
don't place the mandirs in the southwest or northwest. Yes, but if you want to do the Pitra Devta puja, like in the when the sharads come, when their days come, and
Hmm,
or sometimes when we do the yearly puja of the Pitra Devtas, then sit and do in the northwest and or the southwest of the house. That is
nice.
good. So different pujas have different meanings. Like
Wow.
if you want to worship Radha Krishna, then between the northeast and the east, there is a energy which is the eastern side of the northeast. See, the northeast is made of two directions, north and east. So in the northeast, we have little bit part which is more towards the north. So northern part of northeast, then the eastern part of northeast, right? So if you are praying Radha Krishna, then the eastern part of the northeast is a good energy to pray. But again, you will not make 10 mandirs in the home as per the each and every deity, right? So
Yeah.
make in the northeast, that is the best area, or the western side, that is a good area, and then worship over there. And you can keep all the pictures over there. And also don't, make the temple in the layers, like
Yeah.
one picture here, then above, then third picture, or don't hang the pictures on the wall. And then we are worshiping the God,
Yeah.
the highest energy level, the purest form of energy. So give them a proper place in your house, right?
Yeah.
Don't put the idols, or don't put the pictures here and there. Sometimes I see when I go that in their living room, what is called drawing room in India, so they keep the idols over there, and especially Lord Ganesha.
Mm.
And then you drink water and you keep in front of them, right? So this is again disbalance of energy. This is not the right way to treat the god. So I would say just keep the god in your mandir, not too many gods, no idols at all, only simple pictures with the golden frame, no 3D pictures. The idols or the gods pictures should not face each other. They should not be in the layers. They should be on the same floor,
Okay.
and they should all be facing towards you. That's it. Two, three pictures are enough in the mandir. Enough. Like if
I
I
think,
talk, let's say if
yeah.
I have to talk about Ma Durga, right?
Mm.
If the people are worshipping Ma Durga, then southeast part is a very good part. But again, we are not going to make different puja systems, right?
Mm.
Ganesh ji is best worshipped in the north. But yes, if you are doing some rituals or the puja for some days, like Ganesh Chaturthi, so people worship Ganesh ji for few days. At that time, you make a different darbar of them, different place for them. Then you
Yeah.
make in the north of the house. That is good.
Yeah.
Like in the Bengali system, they worship goddess Durga. So they make a beautiful, pandal for them, or they make a different place for them during those 10 days, right? Navratri days. So that make in the southeast of the house. But in general, the mandir should be in the northeast or the west.
Yeah.
Those two directions are the best in journal for the daily puja system. But if you are doing for some days, for few days, like in Ganesh Chaturthi or during the Navratri, at that time you can place the mandir in the different direction. Like for Ganesh ji, as I'm telling, it should be the north. For Durga Ma, it should be the southeast. So that is good. If you are doing some special puja on Ram Navami, do it in the east. If you are making some different place for the god, then make it in the east. That would be good.
Yeah.
And then don't spread lot of cloths, different kind of cloths on the base of the temple. Just spread a simple light creamish color cloth and place the all the pictures on that cloth. That's it.
Yeah. To your point, colors do have a profound impact on human psyche. So, yeah, everything what you just said makes perfect sense. And it's so weird that, the modern day, we tend to believe that whoever, have written these rules or, principles, maybe they didn't know enough, they did not have enough knowledge, and that is why they have written these things. Because when we ask somebody this question, hey, why do you have such a big statue of Lord Ganesha in front of your home, they say, oh, to ward off negative energy, to ward off any doshas with vastu. But in our Vastu Shastra itself, it's clearly written, to your point, that gods or deities are not your, security guards, or they're not there to,
See, people
be
place
kept
Ganesh
as,
Ji's picture
yeah.
in front of their house on the door. So God is not your doorman. God is not your, the guard who is guarding you. No, the God is something very high energy. So don't place them here and there. And as I said earlier, I have seen the places, the houses who have lot of Ganesh deities in their home, like in the form of idol or picture, or if they are placed on the door. And I have seen the children of that house, there is some or the other problem, depending in which direction the god is placed face. Let's say somebody's house can be north facing, somebody's can be west facing, somebody's can be northwest facing. So depending where you have placed the idol. I have seen there is some or the other disbalancing of the energies. Even Lord Krishna, people put Lord Krishna in the front of the door. And 99% the answer which I hear from the people, that when I ask them why you have placed it here, they say, oh, when we go out and when we come in, we see the face of the deity. What will happen? Like, I really need to know this answer. What will happen? If somebody is sick, they have to take the medicine. You cannot just only keep on looking at the medicine and you will get the benefit. You
True.
have to take that medicine inside. Similarly, what will happen if you will see the face, if you are not following the rules written by the god, if you're not following the the life principles, if you're not following sincerity, if you're not following the right path of living, if you're not following the moral values,
Yeah.
how the god is going to help you? If you
Yes.
are into some negative karmic things, if you are making negative karmas, how the god is going to help you? Right?
Yes.
So people just say, because we all are afraid inside. We all know that we do right and wrong karmas. So we just see, oh, the God is in the front. We have, with the folded hands, we have done namaste or we have bowed. So God will be happy. No, God will not be happy. If you are doing the wrong karmas, you have to face them.
Yes.
Otherwise, the karmic theory does not, the Lord Krishna has said, the Bhagavad Gita, he has only spoken about the karma theory in all the chapters. Such a detailed karma theory lessons are given by him, spoken by the God himself. So,
Yes.
the karma exists, and that's how your astrology is made. Based on the karmas, how the planets are placed, they tell you what you have done in your past birth. So, if you are not following the rules written by the god, and if you think that just bowing in front of the god can wave off your negative karmas, I'm sorry to say it's not going to happen.
Yes.
So don't use the deities to decorate your home. You can decorate with the pictures, plants, there are a lot of other things. So don't decorate them.
Okay.
Treat them as god, highest level of energy. If, let's say, if you have done something wrong, and though you portray in the front of the public or people or family that you have not done, but the god knows what you have done. Or if, let's say, somebody plays politics against someone, so God knows that this child is innocent, and God will definitely get, your share of happiness to you.
Yeah.
So don't try to play tricks with God,
Yes,
right?
ma'am. Yep.
And similarly, if you see God, if you're bowing in the front of the God, will not make any difference. But if you does not go to temple, and still if you are doing the good karmas, then definitely the blessings are on its way,
Yes.
right?
I completely agree. I mean, everything, whatever you just said, makes so much sense. And I hope our viewers are enjoying this show. And stay tuned, viewers. Unfortunately, we have to stop it here because we do have more shows coming up on the Sakshi TV channel here. So thank you so much, Deepika ji, for chatting with me today and giving me an opportunity to ask these questions. And also, I thank you for helping me and helping Sakshi TV spread the good words or knowledge, right? In terms of both astrology and Vastu Shastra. And I will be talking to you soon with more questions. So, viewers, please stay tuned. This is going to be awesome, interesting, and terrific. Thank you all and have a good one.